Hello everyone, Jennifer Maker here. It's a beautiful day to make some quick, inexpensive projects. If you love the Dollar Tree and Cricut as much as I do, today's video is just for you. So today I'm going to share my ideas for Dollar Tree crafts and recommend which materials to use for the best results. I'll also show you how to make 3 of my favorite ones. You can see a bunch of them right here. They're super simple to make, but so satisfying. So come with me and we will get started. The Dollar Tree is such a great place to get crafting ideas. Dollar Tree projects make for nearly instant crafting satisfaction and last-minute gifts when you use the simple materials, tools, and steps that I'm about to share with you. Now, I've picked out 12 of my favorite Dollar Tree items that are just perfect for Cricut projects. I like to call them blanks because they're blank of design right now, perfect for us to decorate. Links to every Dollar Tree blank that I used in this video are right below this video, so there's no guessing at what I used. Now to decorate these blanks, I'll be using cardstock, adhesive vinyl, iron-on vinyl, lots of different fun things. You can use the same colors as the examples I'm about to show you or experiment to fit your style. I also use chalk paint in several colors, which is such a fun way to personalize these simple items. This paint goes on really easily with a foam brush, so easily you'll want to paint everything a new color. So I made these projects with my amazing Cricut Maker cutting machine, but you can also use an original maker or a machine from the Explore series. And several of the designs that I'm about to share with you are even small enough to cut with a Cricut Joy 2. Just make sure your blade is clean, your machine mat is sticky, and your transfer tape is ready. I also have free designs for all of these to share with you. I've made these designs really simple but easily customizable so that you can make just what you want. Now, it would take quite a while to show you every step that I made in these projects. Instead, I'm going to teach you how to make 3 of my favorite projects that will teach you the techniques to complete the rest. So you'll be able to do everything. But first, the haul. Everyone loves a good Dollar Tree haul, right? They always get me ready to craft. So I'm going to go over which blanks I found the most exciting at my local Dollar Tree and the materials that I used on each one. The best part is that most of these blanks and materials can be mixed and matched to your heart's content. So have a pen and paper ready to take notes for your shopping list and your own ideas. But don't go shopping yet. Stay tuned until the end for the step-by-step instructions for my favorite projects. First is this super simple glass vase. You may recognize it from my color glass etching or my cardinal vase tutorials. I just really love how easy this vase is to work with. Dollar Tree has had this vase in stock for ages, so I don't think it's going away anytime soon. And why would it? It is so flexible and functional. So many craft projects to do with this. So for this project, I created a swirly tree design with hearts. You can customize the colors to fit a holiday or make them monochromatic for a very modern style. I think it would look great with some holographic accents too. And this would make an extra special gift if you made some cardstock flowers to fill it with. Just imagine, it would be so pretty. If you make a project with the vase, remember to first wash it well with hot soapy water. I recommend Dawn soap, it works great. Also, cleaning the surface with a lint-free cloth and rubbing alcohol will really help your vinyl stick easily. I can't wait to see what you come up with for this vase. For tips on applying designs to curved surfaces like this, check out my tutorial on decorating curved surfaces at jennifermaker.com/vinyl on mugs with cute designs. Next up is this cute hanging wooden plaque. It comes unfinished, so I painted it for a nice base, and then I added my home is where the heart is compass design using layered adhesive vinyl. You can easily customize this one by painting it a different color or using different shades of vinyl. If you want to add a different design to the plaque, just be sure to measure the blank to adjust the decal's dimensions. Most Dollar Trees seem to have these wooden plaques in stock consistently, which is great since it's so versatile. If you order online, they'll send you an assortment of shapes. So you might get this stretched arabesque shape, an arrow, an oval, or the one that looks like an antique street sign, but they're going to pick them for you. Now I have a few tips for these plaques. So removing the hanging cord, you can see the hanging cord right here, makes this so much easier to paint. Just remember to tie it back on afterward, or you can replace it with a pretty ribbon. So for this version, I used folk art chalk paint, an Adirondack, and a foam brush to get a smooth coat. Depending on the color, you might need 2 coats. And of course, make sure the paint is totally dry before applying your vinyl so you don't peel any color off. If it's really humid where you are, give it some time. If you do peel a bit, just cut out another small vinyl design and cover up the little imperfection. If you need help with layering vinyl, I have some great tips in my layering vinyl tutorial, which you can find online at jennifermaker.com/how to layer vinyl on Cricut. The Dollar Tree always has these nice chargers in stock and in so many different colors. So chargers are supposed to go under your dinner plate at fancy events like a wedding or whatever to protect your tablecloth and table. But I think they make great everyday decorations once you add a design. I mean, really, they're so cool. I love this one. It's got like a wood grain on it. So for this one, I added my Crafting is Therapy design in white adhesive vinyl to the faux gray wood textured charger. And I really love the finished look. If your charger has a textured surface like this, spend some extra time burnishing the vinyl to really help that design transfer. If you want to use a different design, you totally can. The chargers are 13 inches in diameter, but the center space can vary, so give that a quick measure too to be sure. A nice monogram design would look beautiful on one of these. You can be extra fancy and add designs to the outer edge as well. You could probably use a wreath SVG as well. It's also a great opportunity to practice curving your text in design space. To display the charger, you can lean it on a shelf or glue a loop of fishing line to the back and hang it on a small hook. Or you can use a pretty ribbon if you want to have it visible along the edge. These are super light, so it doesn't have to be very strong. I can picture a group of these chargers in complementary colors hanging on a wall like those hat collection displays that some people have. I think that would look super, super cool. So Dollar Tree Cricut items can also be super functional, like these 16-ounce glass canning jars. I made mine into adorable painted vases, and this is one of the projects that I'm going to demonstrate for you, so stay tuned for all of the details. Now you can change this project to fit your style in a lot of different ways. You can change the paint color. You can use patterned vinyl. Just keep playing with it until you get the look that you're going for. These canning jars are so easy and fun to work with. They're similar to the ones from my mason jar wall decor, so you could use that for inspiration too. So remember that since this is a glass blank, you'll want to clean it well with hot soapy water and wipe it with a lint-free cloth to help your vinyl or your paint stick better. And if you order the jars online, they will come with a mix of gold and silver lids. So if you have a preference, you'll want to try to buy them in person. So many of you may have noticed that Dollar Tree has added a lot of craft supplies. They must have seen us all shopping in the aisles more often. I've tried a lot of their craft products, and their canvas boards are some of my favorite blanks for Cricut projects. They're not quite the best quality, sure, for painting like a masterpiece, but they fit the bill for displaying a favorite quote or an image in vinyl. Right? So for this project, I painted the 8 by 10 inch canvas a shade of yellow that always makes me feel happy. This is folk art paint in Summer Porch applied with a foam brush. I applied 2 coats and let the paint dry while I was cutting my design in adhesive vinyl. And I love how the layered version of my hand-lettered everyday design came out. Isn't that really pretty? Creating the white layer might look intimidating, but thanks to the offset tool in Cricut Design Space, it's actually really easy. I covered the best way to use offset in my layered vinyl tutorial, which you can find at jennifermaker.com/how-to-layer-vinyl on Cricut. That tutorial will also help you transfer the layers with perfect alignment. Now, getting the vinyl to stick to the canvas can take some extra burnishing time, so stick with it. The result will be worth the effort, trust me. So if you want to add a different design to your painted canvas board, just remember to make your design smaller than the 8 by 10 inches of your canvas. Dollar Tree has a lot of different canvases available, so check your local store for more options. We all know I love mugs because mugs can hold coffee. And since I'm a big coffee fan, I'm always on the lookout for a good mug. And I like these 12-ounce Dollar Tree ones. The shapes and colors might be different in your store, but I love all the options that they offer. I like the plain mugs, but I really love putting sticky vinyl on this one with the nice stripes. Isn't this cool? They're like built-in guidelines for getting your decals straight, so they're great for beginners. Remember to clean your mug so it's easier to get the vinyl to stick. Some of the mugs are dishwasher and microwave safe, others aren't. You can always tell by the label on the bottom. So there's a label right here at the bottom, right? So you can always check that. But I recommend hand washing and not getting them too hot once the vinyl is on. Another tip for decorating these mugs or glasses from Dollar Tree is that you don't always have to use permanent vinyl. I've used removable vinyl to decorate mugs for parties, and it's a fun, easy way to keep people's drinks straight, and it looks super cool. Once you're done with the event, you can just peel off the removable vinyl really easily. If a bit of adhesive doesn't want to come off, hot water and dish soap should do the trick. So often Dollar Tree has these adorable stuffed plush animals. The options definitely vary store to store, but my design tutorial will work for whichever one you pick. I share how to apply iron-on vinyl, like this, to the bear sweater in this tutorial, but there are so many different ways to decorate these blanks once you have the technique down. You can add a name, a birth date, an anniversary, or pretty much anything else to a stuffed animal with your Cricut. These make great birthday presents, Valentine mementos, or a nice addition to a gift basket. Their sweaters are about 2 inches square, like on this bear, which is a perfect size for a small design like this one. I added my You Are Loved design to this bear as a huggable reminder for anyone who needs it. If you order these plushes online, you will get things like a giraffe, a bear, a sloth, and a unicorn. Those are not the most common animals to see in plush form, making them even more fun to gift. So these plastic bins are one of my favorite recent Dollar Tree finds. They can hold ice and canned drinks, towels for a pool party, gardening supplies, pretty much anything that you can think of. They have handles and they're relatively sturdy. Just don't put too many heavy things in them, right? They are just plastic. Now I'm going to use my bin for storing some gardening supplies, so I added this flowers and garden design using adhesive vinyl. So easy to do. The ridges along the bin are really helpful for placing your design nice and straight, so use them. These bins would be perfect for summer parties since they're light and they come in so many different colors. You could get a bunch that fit your party's decor and add decals to match. Like if you're having a graduation party, you could add congratulations grad in a nice trendy font for a super fast and inexpensive decor option. Again, there are so many possibilities with these bins. Now, I also experimented with painting these bins. I tried some of those pretty metal spray paints because I guess some of you would be just as curious as I was as to how it might turn out. Unfortunately, it was tough to get an even coat. And when I tried to apply a decal, the transfer tape lifted the paint off. So I don't suggest painting these. So depending on the season, Dollar Tree has some excellent planters and gardening supplies. It's spring right now, so we have plenty of these. One of my favorite finds are these plastic planters, which are nice on their own, but really grew on me once I added vinyl for decorations, as you can see here. I added several abstract flowers to my planters, but you can also add your plant's type in a pretty font. Wouldn't that look really cool? These planters are about 6 inches tall and have an attached saucer for drainage, making them good for indoor use. If you don't have a very green thumb, the planters can also hold a silk flower arrangement or other decorative items. Another way to personalize this project is to cut your designs in removable vinyl. That way you can change your decor with the seasons or to match your plant. Sounds like fun, right? I also tried painting these plastic planters and had the same results as the bins, sadly. So I recommend you just stick to decals for these plastic planters. Another excellent garden-related blank that I found is this adorable Terracotta Pot 2-pack. The pots are about 3.5 inches tall in diameter, making them perfect to grow an herb plant or store some office supplies, whichever you prefer. I painted one using chalk paint, and then I added this cute face in adhesive vinyl. Isn't it adorable? These could hold small herbs, cacti, or anything, or any other plant that doesn't need a lot of space because they're pretty small. You could also use one as a pen holder. They're certainly not just for gardening. Now remember, terracotta is breakable, so you don't want to drop these blanks. Also, they're made of clay, which can soak up moisture, so you might need to add a second layer of paint depending on the look that you're going for. They're so cute, you really can't go wrong with these though. I love them. So recently, Dollar Tree has had some really nice plastic decor items that make perfect terrariums. And don't worry, you don't need to keep a plant or even an air plant alive. I'll show you an easier way to add botanical accents to your project in this tutorial. I found both a globe terrarium and a light bulb shaped version online, and I love both of them. They look perfect with a few decorative rocks and some of my cardstock flowers or succulents inside. You can add your own succulent, flower, or another paper object to the terrarium. Just make sure it's smaller than 3 inches so you can fit it through the opening. Now, a quick note on the succulent designs. They came with a little rectangle piece, which we won't use in this tutorial, but it has a special use. If you want to attach a succulent to some craft foam, the original tutorial demonstrates how to add wire to the base. The little rectangle helps keep the wire in place too, and this would actually be a super cute way to combine the succulents and the terracotta pots. And of course, you can see I've added fairy lights to this one, which you can just turn on and off like this. Aren't those adorable? And finally, I found this highly functional and just as cute wooden tray at my store. You can decorate a tray to collect items, serve solo snacks, or hang on the wall as a decoration. It's totally up to you. The tray is just 7.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall, but a small design fits perfectly right in this flat part. So that's a dozen Dollar Tree blanks, and I bet you can think of a dozen different ways to use each one. But don't get overwhelmed. Let me show you 3 projects that will prepare you to try lots of your ideas. The projects are simple, but I'll teach you every step so you can customize them to fit your home perfectly. Let's get started. Step 1, select and prepare your projects. First, think about what you want to make. Look over your Dollar Tree items, materials, and the design examples, and pick some that you're really excited to try. Now make sure that your blanks are in good shape and clean them off if needed. Prepping now will save you time later. I'm going to demonstrate a mix of glass, plastic, and plush items today, but here's how I prep all of these different blanks. For glass items, I wash in warm, soapy water and dry them with a lint-free towel. I use the same method for plastic, ceramic, and terracotta items. By the way, an awesome lint-free towel is a simple coffee filter. You can also use a lint-free cloth to dust off the canvas board. Now, some of the plushes have dust or loose fibers on them, but a few swipes with the lint roller has them ready to go. If you want to paint any of your blanks, do it now so they can dry while you cut the designs. Be sure to protect your work area with butcher paper or some scrap paper and put on some gloves to keep your hands clean. And now the real fun part, let's look at my design collection. Step 2, get my free designs. You can find all of these designs totally free on my blog. Go to jennifermaker.com/383 and look for libraries in the red bar at the top, and then either click Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. Search the page for design number 383, click the link to download a zip file with SVG files for cutting on a Cricut or another cutting machine, DXF files, and printable PDFs for cutting by hand. I want to show you how to cut these designs on a Cricut cutting machine. First, upload the SVG cut file to Cricut Design Space. If you're unsure how to do this, go to jennifermaker.com/svgs to learn how to unzip and upload SVGs. You can zoom out to see all of the designs by clicking on the minus sign on the lower left. This is what my Dollar Tree designs look like on my Cricut Design Space canvas. There are lots of options, but I'm going to show you how to use 3 designs today. The "You Are Loved" quote, the white flower, and the red succulent at the bottom left. I'll show you how to adjust these designs, and then you'll be ready to customize the others too. But let's clear away the other designs so we can focus. Make sure the design is selected, and then click Ungroup above the Layers panel. Click and drag the designs that you want to make to the side so they're out of the way. Now click and drag a bounding box around the rest of the designs on your canvas, and then press the Delete key on your keyboard. You can also use the Delete icon at the top of the Layers panel. If you're making the same projects as me, your canvas should look like this. Step 3. Prepare the designs for cutting. Let's go over the plan for each of these designs. That way we can figure out any changes we need to make to them. I think this little flower would be perfect as layered vinyl decorations on my painted jars. I might have to make it smaller to fit though. I want to put this "You Are Loved" design on a plush, so we'll use iron-on vinyl, probably in a different color. And the cardstock succulent will look great in my globe terrarium just as it is. So it looks like we need to check the sizes of some blanks, adjust designs to fit them, and make lots of copies of the flower. That sounds like a lot, but Design Space has all the tools to help us. Let's start with the design for our plush. In the Layers panel, click the Other Designs eye icons to hide them like this. I want to make sure it will fit on my bear sweater, so let's measure that first using a fabric tape measure. The usable space on the sweater is about 2 inches. If I click the design layer, I can see that it's currently about 4 inches wide and just over an inch tall. That won't work. We need to get the width under 2 inches, so let me show you how. First, make sure the lock icon above size in the top menu is closed. That way, the design's proportions will stay the same as we resize it. With the design still selected, drag the bounding box's resize icon right here until the width is under 2 inches. Or you can just type 2 into the width box under size in the top menu like this. There. Now the design will fit on the bear sweater. Now your blanks may be slightly different sizes than mine, or you may want to use a different design on a different item. That's totally fine. Just use these steps to measure the blank and adjust the design. If you need help resizing an SVG in Cricut Design Space, check out my resizing guide where I explain exactly what you need to do to resize any design to fit your needs. The guide is available at jennifermaker.com/resizesvg. While we're on this design, I don't think it will look nice in black on the plush's tan sweater. I want to see how it will look in red. Luckily, changing a layer's color is easy. Select the layer you want to change on the canvas or in the Layers panel. I'll click the phrase, and then click the color box next to Basic Cut in the top menu. Click the color you want in the pop-up window. I'm going to choose red. Now you can preview what the final design will look like. I love this feature. Now onto our little layered flower. Use the eye icons on the side to hide the plush decal and unhide the flower. One of the easiest ways to create a simple pattern is to use multiples of a small design. I'm picturing lots of small flowers in an all-over pattern on my teal jars. So that means we need to make lots of tiny flower petals and center layers. Let's change the size first. Just like we did with the phrase, click on the flower design to see how big it is. It's about 1 inch square right now. Since my canning jars are only a few inches tall, I couldn't fit many flowers at that size. 1/2 inch square sounds like a better size for the dainty look that I'm going for. Make sure both layers are selected and the lock icon is closed, and then type 0.5 into the width field to resize the flower. Perfect. Now to make this one flower into many, I'm not going to measure my jars and plan out the design perfectly, but I don't want to be short on decals either. So I'm going to estimate that each jar will look nice with about 15 of these flowers. That means I need 30 in all since I have 2. That's a lot of flowers, but I'll just save any extras for another project. There are 2 ways to make multiple copies of one design element. The first way is my favorite, but it only works when you're cutting one design. With one copy of the design on your canvas, continue to the Prepare screen by clicking Make It. In the Project Copies field at the top left, enter the number of copies you want and click Apply. The screen will reload with all of your duplicates ready to cut. Easy peasy. The second way to make a bunch of copies is on the canvas. It takes longer, but this works if you're cutting several projects at once, like I am. Select the flower design, making sure both layers are highlighted in the Layers panel. Then click Duplicate. Now there's 2 flowers. Click Duplicate until you have the quantity you want. This might take Cricut Design Space some time, so just be patient. Drag a bounding box to select all of the pieces and group them. Again, use the eye icons to hide the flowers and unhide the succulent. The third design element we will use is the red succulent. I've already sized it to make a 3-inch plant, which is perfect for the globe terrarium. The design is from my DIY succulent tutorial, which has lots of other plants too. You can find that tutorial at jennifermaker.com/DIY paper succulents. If you use a different succulent design or another cardstock item, make sure it will fit through the 3-inch opening on the front of the terrarium. You can use all of these tips to change the size, color, and quantity of any of the other designs in this collection too. And now you're ready to cut. Make sure you have all the elements you want to cut back on the canvas by clicking on the eye icons so everything is showing that you want to cut. Check to make sure the correct machine is selected and click Make It in the top menu. Step 4. Cut your designs. If you're using a Maker 3, Explorer 3, or a Joy, you might be asked if you'll be cutting your designs without a mat, with a mat, or multiple ways. Just a reminder that only Cricut Smart materials can be cut without a mat. I will be using a mat with my Maker 3, so I select On Mat and click Continue. If you are making any of the designs with iron-on vinyl, it is important that you toggle Mirror On. Permanent vinyl does not need to be mirrored, however. I am making my You Are Loved design with iron-on vinyl, so I will toggle that to Mirror On. Once your designs are prepared, click Continue on the bottom right. And now it's time to select your material. First, I'm going to cut the You Are Loved design in everyday iron-on vinyl. Find your material and select More Pressure. If you don't see your material as an option on the screen, click Browse All Materials to search for it. Make sure your Cricut fine point blade is clean and in clamp B as indicated on the screen. Now put your iron-on vinyl shiny side down on your Cricut machine mat, making sure it covers the design area visible on your screen. To see your design placement larger, click Edit below the mat thumbnail and Done when you're ready. Use a brayer to get the vinyl as smooth as possible on your mat. Now load the machine mat into your machine and press the flashing button to begin cutting. When the cut is complete, unload the mat. Flip your design over and gently peel the mat away from your vinyl. Repeat these steps for the other designs, changing your material, settings, pressure, and mat application to fit each layer. For the flower mats, I use premium vinyl permanent glossy with more pressure, placing the vinyl shiny side up on the mat. For the succulent, I set the material to medium cardstock with more pressure. Step 5. Assemble and apply your designs. Now to put our projects together. Let's start with our canning jars. Cut the excess vinyl away from your designs. With your weeding tool, remove the excess vinyl from the petals and the center heart pieces. Now cut a piece of transfer tape slightly larger than one of your vinyl flowers. Align the transfer tape over the heart so that it is in the center of the transfer tape. Press the transfer tape down and gently peel away the vinyl's backing. If you're having trouble getting just one heart at a time, here's a tip. Try cutting the hearts apart first. With the heart on the transfer tape, center it over a white flower, burnish the transfer tape to the vinyl with your scraper tool, and gently peel away the flower's backing. Place the layered vinyl onto the canning jar. Burnish the vinyl to the glass and gently pull away the transfer tape. If you use the scraper, be careful not to chip your paint. Once you're happy with the pattern, finish the jars off with some silk flowers or paper flowers for a beautiful piece of home decor. Next, let's decorate our plush bear. Trim the cut design from the larger sheet and use your weeding tool to remove the excess iron-on vinyl. Don't forget to get the little bits inside the letters. Don't forget to use your lint roller to remove any stray fluff or dust on the plush, and look for stray threads too. I'm going to use a Cricut Easy Press Mini, but you can use a home iron. Just be careful if you do. Use the Cricut Heat Press Guide to check the recommended settings for your materials and press. You can find the heat guide at jennifermaker.com/easypress. For my chosen materials, I'll put the plush on my Easy Press mat or towel and set the Cricut Easy Press Mini to medium heat. I'll press the design with light pressure and constant movement for about 25 seconds. Then I'll let it cool before gently removing the carrier sheet. Since the area that we're applying the iron-on vinyl to is so small, it may be helpful to use the Cricut heat-resistant tape to hold the design in place while you press it. How cute is that? The customizable possibilities are endless with these adorable stuffed animals. Finally, let's decorate this trendy globe terrarium with a cardstock succulent and some pebbles. The finished product looks like something from a fancy garden store, but it never needs water. For this project, we don't need a little rectangle, so you can set that aside. First, use your scraper tool to shape the leaves upward. Add hot glue to the center of the largest piece and stack each layer from largest to smallest. Make sure to stagger each layer as you add it to the top. Continue until you have glued all of the pieces together. It is now ready for your terrarium. Before placing the succulent in the terrarium, put a small handful of pebbles in the base. That will help keep the succulent from sliding around. And there we go. Isn't it just so pretty? If you want to use another one of my succulent designs, the directions are all available in the original tutorial, which you can find at jennifermaker.com/DIY paper succulents. There are all kinds of cute objects that you can put inside these terrariums. A rolled paper flower would be beautiful, or even several small succulents. Just make sure the item will fit through the 3-inch opening. So fun and easy, right? Look at all of these amazing creations that we made. And the best part is that they're super inexpensive, but no one will ever know. Seriously, they look so cool. And just think, now that you know all of the techniques, you can use what you learned to apply permanent or iron-on vinyl to so many different blanks from Dollar Tree. And you have some fun ideas for cardstock items to add to them for a finishing touch. So now if you have any questions at all about making any of these awesome quick and easy Dollar Tree Cricut projects that I didn't answer in this video, or anything else craft related at all that I might be able to help you with, please let me know. Leave your question below this video or ask over in our awesome Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/CricutCrafters. I love to help and love to see you succeed, and I love all of your photos too. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love. I'm a ball of excitement in the center, and then I'm...
There you go. That's how you do it.